And now, our feature presentation.
All right, so folks, it is now time for the 5's of the week. Your feature presentation, as always, brought to you by 24th Street Pizza. And this week, we're going to talk about if a family member or friend is in Michigan, places you would take them. There's a lot of hidden gems, I think, that the nation and the world does not know about Michigan. So, B, shout out to you. This is a great topic. And with that being said and whatnot and what have you, I would like you to start it off.
You would love to do this, right? Have you guys noticed I've stepped up my tech game here, man?
And
Instead
whatnot.
of bundles of paper, as I normally come with like a 3-ring binder, so I got it on my phone this time, dude.
You're doing well, Brad.
Yeah, between that and the memes, I'm really getting good at
I'm telling you, that phone has got...
It's crazy.
Webster ain't got nothing on you, just saying.
Nothing, man. So, yeah, 5's of the week here. So the first one I went with, guys, is Traverse City area, the west side of the state. Now, I'm sure we may be sharing that at some point. And if we do, well, we just share it, I guess.
We're Michiganders.
Since I went first, so you got it, bro.
I was agreeing with you. We're fellow Michiganders, so we're all going to have some same stuff.
All right, so I put Traverse City area, west side. I like the Lake Michigan side of our state. I think it's very beautiful. Big body of water, Petoskey, Sleepy Bear Dunes. Great sights to see over there on the west side. So that was one of them.
Absolutely. I love it, man. C-Rob, we'll go over to you.
I actually own property, you guys know, in the west side of the state over in that area. So, yeah, I agree with him. I love it. But that wasn't my number one. My number one was actually, if you're coming to the state for the first time, I'm going to take you to downtown Detroit. Because that opened so many things, the new stadiums and the casinos. And I'm going to take you to eat at American Coney Island. It's been there since 1914. You know what I mean? Downtown Detroit really, really is a spectacle to see, man. Especially the last 20 years. I mean, but you can take them to places today that still existed in 1914, 1915 that you could still visit. It's a historical place.
And
so
the revival has been great.
Absolutely. But even the revival of the old stuff, I love the way they didn't tear all the old out, and they revived a lot of the old stuff.
The facial.
Absolutely. Because a lot of America, a lot of that stuff is going away. You know what I mean?
That's a good one. No, I like
so that's my number one.
Very good. Miguel, over to you.
So I'm going to go with one of them, Frankenmuth. Frankenmuth, Michigan.
Very nice.
Yep.
Very nice.
Nothing beats going up there during the holidays and all that kind of stuff.
A little Bavaria.
What's good about it?
You get a little bit of cheese factory going on. You get the fried chicken.
Some chicken.
You get Bronner's. You get the Christmas ornaments. You get all that
Nice
stuff. So it's
Frankenmuth.
you can't go wrong up there during the holidays.
Yeah, and shout out to my buddy Al on our Facebook page. I think he shouted out Frankenmuth as well. So that's a good pick.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. Hollywood, over to you.
I think the mic is down. Mic 1.
Mike 1.
Yo, there we are. I like, see Rebel. I took a page from you. Downtown, the riverfront.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you need to be down into the Hart Plaza with, that goes way back to the old Hart Plaza whip down. You remember that?
Love it.
Beat down?
Love it.
The
Love
hold
it.
down?
Love it.
But that's a beautiful place down there at that riverfront, man. It's rocking in the summertime. Techno. I mean, they have, oh my God, they got everything. And
Kobo's down
yes, everything's there, and a lot of people want to come down, take photos by the fist, Joe Louis and all that. And it's something about Detroit. When you come to Michigan, Detroit is like heart and soul, man.
And to add to that, one time, and I'm going to bring up Kid Rock a minute. Do you remember when he was married to Pam Anderson? Mm-hmm. I seen an interview with her one time when they're full-fledged married and they're full marriage, and they asked her what she thought of Michigan. She's like, I lived all over the place. The one thing I've noticed about Detroit that I've never seen anywhere else, everybody who's from here, they're so proud to be from here. I've never been to a place to where somebody is so proud to be from that place.
Yeah.
And she thought that was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And I thought that was
It's a pretty unique place to live. It's kind of a melting pot of cultures and backgrounds, and it's changed and evolved over the years. But I think it's still a great place. Even if I were to come into some money and maybe get a place out of state, I would always have a location here in Detroit because I love it.
Right.
I love everything about it.
Because your heart's always going to be here in some form or fashion.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the history, the sports, the family, the friends, the restaurants, the scenery in itself is amazing. And are you good, Hollywood?
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt. I'm moving on to, so I'm kind of with B on this one, but it's Glen Arbor. I was fortunate enough to, when my mom met my stepdad, We have a place up in Glen Arbor, Michigan. It's unlike anything else in the world. I mean, that's why people are like, man, you don't travel very often. I said, well, really? I really don't need to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I go up there, to me,
I'd agree.
that is a vacation in its own.
Yes.
Hollywood could attest to it. The first time he's been up there, it was like shock and awe. You know,
Shock and
he
awe.
loved it. Any friend I've ever brought over the years, they just fall in love with it. It's like a escape a few hours away. You know what I mean? You feel like you're on vacation. The water's crystal blue like you're in the Bahamas.
Oh,
You can go see the hills like you were talking about the Sleepy Bear Dunes, B. You can go down to Lake Michigan. The kayaking, going down a fucking lazy river, you get lost in that. I could do that every single time and it never gets old.
May I ask you, Glen Arbor now, that's basically Traverse City, right?
It's right outside Traverse
Right,
City.
because like I said, my place isn't too far from there, and I've traveled through Glen Arbor, but I've never really had the chance to come to your place or spend some time with Glen Arbor. But I'd like to do that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And, you know, my stepdad Andy and his brother Chuck and the late great Eddie, they were always very welcoming and open, you know, to having people up there. And we still will, you know what I'm saying? So that
I'd love
opportunity
to
will
visit
present
it.
itself. Absolutely. It's a great, I have customers that I've referred to go up there, and they were like, Mike, wow, it's amazing. I can't wait to go back.
Like a third world country.
A little pricey, you know what I mean? Obviously, anytime you go somewhere, it's more touristy nowadays, I would believe. But it never gets old. And any chance I get, I'm there, man. You know, so.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'll be back to you.
No, it's you be.
Oh, it's me. Okay.
I got this. We're
All
good.
right. Yeah,
He'll
thanks.
call your name when John.
Yeah. I kind of knew we were going to share a little bit of the same places, so I try to
Oh,
be.
of course.
I try to be a little bit different, and I picked the Grand River bus stop.
Oh, nice.
Just kidding.
We've all been there.
I mean, if you're my friend, if you
The smells are glorious.
I mean, there's actors and actresses in there. They're doing things that you'll only see at the Grand River bus stop.
I was driving to
Most
Redford
people
on
call
Tuesday.
that a porno. We call it a movie.
I was on Southfield Freeway, and I passed the Grand River exit. And I did think of you guys.
Isn't
just
that
so you know.
funny? Ever since Hollywood brought that up and showed us that,
Ain't that
it's never
something
been
you
the
see
same.
that on the sign and it says Grand River in a mile and a half. You're just thinking, I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what went down on Grand River.
Right. So kidding aside, that wasn't really my pick because we shared a couple of the last ones here, gentlemen.
Yes.
The downtown culture district. Yes, definitely. I don't know if you guys, this is one of the things that I thought was really cool when I went and seen it. It's called the Heidelberg Project. You guys familiar with this?
The Doll House is another
The
nickname
doll
for it.
houses
Yeah,
were
absolutely.
old, burnt down
Amazing.
businesses. And God, I wish I remember the gentleman's name that started it. So he's an artist.
Yeah.
So he'll take junk toys, tires, car fenders, and create art. And it's called the Heidelberg Project. And it's like 3 or 4 streets of just vacant lots, burnt down homes. And they historically landmark some of the area. And then they fix, there's people living still in them areas.
Okay.
But it's like an art deco. You just go one street to another.
And this is
it's-
downtown?
Yeah, it's right off of Mount Elliott.
Okay.
And it's really interesting.
They
you
used
know?
to give him shit for that.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard about it, but I've never.
You never been to
that
the doll
name's
houses?
probably-
There's
No.
people that actually live to add to that. We used to go down there as kids. There's people that actually live in them houses and they're painted polka dot and stuff like that. And they'll go buy cars to put in the street just to paint them all there to be part of the Art Deco. I've taken my kids there. It's really, really, really something to see.
I'll have
If you've
to
ever
check
been
that
there,
out.
you have to check that out. You would really like that.
See, that's why these topics are cool. You
Yeah.
get to learn something every time.
Yeah.
That's dope.
That's really, really cool. Actually, that was on my honorable mention, that one. So that's pretty cool.
All right, Rebel, over to you.
My number 2 is I'm staying in the city of Detroit again for one more thing. I'll get out of there in a minute. But was the other thing, as I was downtown, I would take them down West Grand Boulevard. And the other thing I want to take them to is I'd want to take them to see Motown Records, to go to that museum. That is an amazing. I've been to that, and I've been to the tour and everything like that. Standing in Studio A, I mean, you just it's so loud, it's deafening in there. You know what I mean? You don't hear it sound, but you could hear all the stuff that was created in there. You look in the window and see all the. I can imagine Smokey Robinson looking down at David Ruffin yelling at him because he ain't singing something right. It's something amazing to see. And the tourist guide leader was told us what you're seeing right now is exactly the way this looked in 1968. It looks exactly the same. Barry Gordy would not let us change anything in it. And if you've never been to this town before, I would take them to go. That'd be the second thing I do. While I'm downtown, I would take them to Motown.
All the greats have been through there.
Oh man, if you walk in there, I don't know how to describe it to you. Walking in there to seeing it, I consider story after story after
Just think of some of the names.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? Marvin Gaye.
Have you ever been
Benny
there?
Ross.
Have you ever actually been there?
I've been by it.
You've never
I've
been actually in Studio A? Oh, it's just walking down the old plank stairs and walking
bigger
that
now,
studio.
though. They've added on to expand.
Well, yeah, behind it. That's behind it, right?
Yep.
But yeah, that would be the second thing I would do. While I was downtown, I would take them to Motown Record Museum.
Yeah, we
It's
talked
something to
about
see.
that before, and
Right.
me being in Hollywood, been talking about going down
If
there.
you guys went and seen it, you guys would. I haven't even been since they've redone and put the theater behind it. I haven't been to that, but I've been at actual Studio A and been in Barry Gordy's actual apartment upstairs and stood right in the exact same spot where David Ruffin first time sang "My Girl" in the studio. And the lady told me, "Look up. You're standing right where
Ain't that
David
something?
Ruffin."
Well, we know you've dined with kings and queens, so Miguel, over to you, Brad.
Let me tell you something, pendejo.
Yeah, so
always shit.
we
Always
all shared pretty much like my 1 and 2 were Traverse City, Glen Arbor, up there you can't beat it, and then Detroit, the same kind of thing. I mean,
Right.
and then the thing too, people kind of forget about Detroit is like we're one of the best sports towns and one of the best states. Honestly, there's not a lot of places you can go. You got all 4 major sport teams downtown Detroit now. I mean that district down
It's
there
awesome.
is
It's awesome.
it's crazy. So next on my list, so I will go pay a little homage to my hometown, Fort Gratiot. Over there, I mean, you get the west side, kind of the state vibes over there, long as you get going along the thumb and stuff like that. The beaches, I mean, just nothing like a summer in Michigan. Honestly, I wish it was longer.
Absolutely,
It is a beautiful area.
Yeah,
It's a great pick, and Josh James. Shout out to Josh James. I spoke to him this past weekend, and we were talking. He used
Got
to
a
live
seat
up there in
kinda.
Fort Gratiot.
Oh, did he?
No,
Oh, shoot.
close to
Well,
GMB,
okay.
and we used to go down there. The beach was amazing.
Oh
in the
yeah, no,
summertime.
it's
It was
so
the-
nice out there.
I never heard of Fort Gratiot until I got married. You know what I mean? And my wife, you know what I mean, was, you know, he lived there in Fort Gratiot, and that's the first time I ever started going there. And I was pretty impressed with the whole area. I've been to Miguel's house before, and driving to his home, I was like, wow, this is a really beautiful area. So you're right, that's a good pick. That's a nice area.
I spent 21 years up there, and I really do miss it. I moved
Beautiful home.
for
You went up-
reasons other than probably, you know, you do it for your parents, you think, and all that kind of stuff. But in reality, you know, we don't all stay here forever. But I miss that area, man, because it was quieter. But it's got a pretty good boom going there right now. Like every rural area, over time, people start to figure it out. Hey, that's a good place to go. And that big piece of woods that used to be nothing but trees is leveled, and there's 200 new homes going up.
And you really had a
So-
beautiful home there, too.
Yeah,
It
I really
had
do
a
miss it.
Great spot, great location.
Yeah,
beautiful
and
home.
where I'm living at now, I mean, I wish I could just pick my house up and take it somewhere else because it's so busy and populated. You guys know, you've been to my house. I love the house, but I'm not crazy about the area. I wish I would have did a little bit more homework, you know?
Yeah, well, the one in Fort Gratiot was great too. A lot of good memories there.
Yeah, it
Super Bowl
was.
parties, birthday
Absolutely.
parties.
You were there longer than me, but I came in later on in life. But every time I've been there, I've had a great time.
Yeah.
Location.
Well, shout out
great.
to the people of Fort Gratiot. We had a hip hop show out there, and I think there was like 5 people in the house. Hey,
Hey, how you doing, guys? Hey, there's Vinny over
There's
there.
the five.
you know, you have some duds here.
Yeah.
and there. How you
There's
doing?
Vinny over there.
With that being said, Hollywood, over to you.
There's Vito over there.
Yeah, you covered the Glen Arbor, the Detroit. How about the big house?
There you
Oh,
go.
that's a-
Taking them,
I-
taking them
thinking-
to the big house
Yeah.
to let them know what it's all about.
Biggest stadium in college football.
Yes, you're here at the big house. Wet your pants. You know what I mean?
Let's get it, dude.
You know, I mean, everyone's had some great ones. I mean, that's great because we all had that same idea, Glen Arbor, like you were saying. I mean, it just you know, and some of the other ones you guys had, but in the throw, you know, the big house center just adds to that. That's a must.
That's a great one. That's
Yeah.
a great one.
It's the biggest stadium in college football, like
Yeah.
you said. My first experience there. Shout out to my buddy Andy who got me tickets, and we went. Man, just had a ball. I mean, just the whole downtown Ann Arbor vibe is just really cool. You know, it's a college town, and I remember going down there early on a Saturday morning, and just people are partying. It's nuts. It's a fraternity houses. It's freaking. It's like
I've never been. I've never
it's
been
like
to the big
Project
house.
X,
Sorry to say.
bros. You know what I mean? It's crazy on the streets on a Saturday morning, but
Yeah.
the stadium itself, like you get in there and you're like, holy shit, is this big?
No, it's monsters,
Yeah.
and you got the bench style seating. Like everything's just like that rustic kind of feel.
Around the whole
yeah,
stadium, it is.
brick and all that
Yeah,
shit.
it's
There's
just-
no backings.
There's no backings on seats
Wow.
and stuff.
And there's
I don't know if there is.
What's the
maybe
capacity
closer,
of that
but-
stadium? I know there's one seat, like it was like 100,001 or something like that for some old alumni guy.
But there's more. I think they added more.
I think it's like 110 or something.
Yeah,
yeah,
It's like
and one. It's
the
always going to
hardball
be
section?
and one.
Yeah,
It's going to be like
yeah, yeah,
110
yeah.
and one.
it's a lot.
Yeah, but they added like 10,000 more. It's a hardball section.
No, it's crazy.
I've never been. It's one place I've seen it, and I was like, I'm wowed by it, but I've never been there. And
I just really want to go
bucket list.
that Michigan Ohio State game there. I just,
Ace and blue, baby.
oh man, I just want to go just that rocking atmosphere. I couldn't imagine there's anything probably like it, to be honest.
Yeah, that would be wild. It's a good one, Hollywood. So my next one would be, this place is no longer there, but in Hamtramck was 3-Star Ribs. They later moved. So that was going to be on the list, but since it's not there, I'm going to say Mexican Town. I think going down to Mexican Town is a very cool experience. Xochimilcos, Armandos, just getting that more of an ethnic feel, a little bit of the background, a little bit of the culture. I think that'd be cool. Some authentic Mexican food. Who doesn't like that?
Yeah,
right?
for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? So going down there, getting some good eats, man, and checking it out would be a very, very cool experience for anybody that's outside. You ever been down there, Rebel?
No. Rubber? No.
Rebel? How's your trip over there?
You look at it, you want to
Got that pot grip in there, but I got it.
Look at me like you got them tostado over there.
Yeah, I guess I'm the last one to make a fun of somebody for misspelling. That's your job, sir.
You got me.
But no, I've never been down. I've been through it, but I've never actually got to stop and enjoy it the way you have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, I'm
You have
meeting
to go
you,
down
but I
there.
haven't.
No, we went down there for, I think it was my 26th birthday. A big group of us went down there, had a great time, man. I think anytime you go down there, it's, like I said, good eats, good scenery, and just don't hang around Clark Park, but you know what I'm saying?
Take it down.
Go to the road.
That's
That's
what
what but
It
You
looks
can hang
nice
there,
during
just
the
don't
day.
hang
We don't
long.
want to go out there at night.
Exactly. All right, cool. So back to you, B.
Thank you for that.
All right.
welcome.
So,
You
yeah.
are welcome.
All right, thanks. So I chose. Anybody been to Henry Ford Museum?
Yes.
All right, like Greenfield Village. I know it
Yes.
sounds
Yes.
kind of quirky.
They're two of the same.
It's kind of
They're all the
like
same.
grade
Very
school
good.
field
Amazing.
trips, but we never did those things when I was in school, so that was never like a big deal. But I went.
It's amazing.
It blew me away, man. I mean, it was very interesting to see technology where it evolved to, and
That's another good one. That's a real good
and that
one. right
one.
Thank you for that.
It's for me. It was really cool. So I enjoyed it, and I got something out of it, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know, how Ford made their production and all this, and building airplanes during World War II, and I thought it was
B-52
kind
bombers
Yeah.
came right out of rolled out of Detroit.
I love B-52 bombers.
And they rolled. They were running down West Grand Boulevard, rolling out of factory, one after another, after another.
Yeah.
For World War II.
Yeah, it was very cool. I thought that was very one of
Yeah,
those.
very nice.
I knew again we were going to share. I mentioned the Frank. Me and Miguel were kind of showing each other notes here. Frankenmuth, the old little Bavarian thing. That's a cool thing. But dude, I do have to say this. I think the chicken's overrated.
Oh, 100%.
I agree too.
Yeah,
But
no.
the Greenfield Village, another thing I think is cool what he did there. Henry Ford hand built a lot of, or he didn't hand build himself, but he hand picked a lot of stuff there.
Right.
Like Thomas Edison's original building where he invented the electricity is on that. He had it taken apart board by board and moved to Greenfield Village and put there, and he handpicked that. That's pretty cool. That's a really good one.
That's a good one.
I like it. Yeah, I've been there multiple times, and never gets old, really. You know what I'm saying? It's just that cool throwback
Takes you
feel.
back. Takes you back.
I haven't been there since the 4th grade, but I remember how cool it was.
Yeah, for sure. So back to you, Rebel.
My number 3 was a lot of you guys all know this. A lot of people, listeners, might not know this. In Michigan, you're never far away from a lake here anywhere. And off of Lake Superior in Musning, Michigan, is Pictured Rock. You guys know where Pictured Rock is? And you go down there, and that is some of the most amazing scenery you're ever going to see in your lifetime at Pictured Rock. It's right off of Lake Superior there, and they actually sell tours that you go out to Pictured Rock, and they've got castle formations, and it's all naturally formed. And it was the most amazing thing that I'd ever seen.
It's all the way up in the UP.
Yeah, it's right on the other side of Lake Superior. It's, I mean, it's so far close to Canada that they even speak with a Canadian accent up there. I mean, it's that
Yeah,
close
we're going to be
there.
taking a trip up there maybe this year or next year.
You'll
we're going to do
make
it.
sure you go on the
We're gonna
boat
be
trip
We're going to
ride.
be doing like kayaking and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
as you go through there, absolutely amazing. Like, you can't believe something exists in a world like this, let alone your home state.
Right,
That's how nice it is.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been to the UP, but Tequamanon Falls and all that.
Oh, the Quamanon Falls,
another one,
beautiful.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but that stuff, I need to get back up there, man. It's just
That's
more of a touristy
untouched
town.
area up there, a lot of
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah, a lot of untapped potential
Yeah.
there still. So good one. Miguel, back over to you.
Probably this is basically one. Oh, I got two more, but Mackinac Island. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you go up there, it's kind of the same kind of thing. It's kind of like vibes on the Traverse City vibes and stuff like that. I mean, you go over to the island. I've done it a couple times before, and it's just like it's crazy. You go over to the island, and the whole island just kind of like that old style feel and all that kind of stuff. The island runs on fudge and things like that.
Yeah.
So you got the Grand, what is it, like the Grand Hotel over there and all that kind of stuff. So it's a pretty cool feeling being over on the island, things like that. It's like I think it's like 8-9 miles around or something. You can bike around the whole thing and the scenery.
Hurry up! I got a hot shit in the chamber.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so no Mackinac Island.
8 billion people on the planet. Grandma should be the only one to have that drop.
Very nice.
I was waiting to do it for you because I had to pick somebody to pick on.
He was still trying to work that one out when I was talking.
Can I say I'm going to share that?
yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm going to share that one with Miguel. That Mackinac thing, that was going to be my last one. So then you can just skip right over me at this point.
All right, Hollywood. I still got 3 left, so I don't know what the fuck.
I got
Maybe they're in
2
Buffalo
left.
somewhere.
I'm at number 4 or 5. Right?
Buffalo, damn
What
it.
number was that for you?
It don't matter. We'll just
3.
keep going.
Yeah,
Well, I shared
everyone's
3 of them.
sharing like half of them.
Yeah. I'm going to say
I knew that was going to happen.
Soaring Eagle up in Midland.
Oh, I forgot about Soaring Eagle.
Very nice place. And it's even expanded now. They've done more work on it and, outdoors and all that with the fire and all that stuff. It's really cool, man.
I love Soaring Eagle.
Got
I've
that.
been there a bunch of times. I haven't been there in 20 years, but prior to that, I was there a bunch of times.
They do a lot of concerts out there. They got that concert venue and everything.
Great
out
for
there.
concert hall.
Yeah.
Great venue hall. I seen Kenny Rogers out there.
Super. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Very good.
I did.
Very good.
Kenny Rogers?
Lady.
Yeah, I seen Kenny Rogers. Hey, don't knock Kenny, all right? Kenny was the man, all right?
All right. That's good.
I'm with you guys, so it's okay?
No, it's all right. I had a pretty funny.
No, go ahead.
Soaring Eagle, when my son was born, my 23-year-old son was born, my parents lived all the way up in northern Michigan, and we lived down here, so we met at Soaring Eagle. That's how I met my son. Well, we got 3 rooms at Soaring Eagle, and the whole trip had cost me like $600 for the weekend. I had like $20 left in my name. I put the $20 in, pulled 4 different times, walked out of the casino on 4 bets with $880. I went back to the room. I sat and started drinking beer, and my ex was like, "Are you going to eat?" I was like, "Nope." "Are you going to go gamble?" I was like, "Nope," because I had to walk through the casino. I knew if I got out of that room, I was going to give it all back. So for the next 48 hours, I never left the room again.
I don't know what he's talking about.
And I never told anybody I wanted until I got all the way back to Michigan. She'd have been hitting me up for money. Like, "No, I'm broke. This trip cost the whole day." That was really cool. I couldn't believe it.
I tell you what, but
I don't really sound like that.
Yeah.
Good one. So I'm with you guys on the downtown field, but I think if someone can come in from out of town and witness one of our sports venues, whether it be Ford Field, Little Caesars Arena, obviously with the Wings and the Pistons a little tough right now, but Comerica Park, all our stadiums are solid. And especially
100%.
Ford Field, like when it's rocking, there's really nothing like it. People out on the outside, it doesn't get the credit it deserves. Some people know, but it's starting to get a little bit more notoriety for how loud it can be. And I think it's just a great, great sports atmosphere like Miguel, you touched on. This is a ruckus fan base that loves its sports. And it's only going to continue to grow.
Oh, it's going to be crazy.
We deserve a championship here more than people know, man. And
Oh, absolutely.
Been too long.
shout out to our team. So I know we all kind of shared that to some degree. So I'm going to just throw my other one out here. It's the Foaling Warehouse down in Hamtramck.
I want to do that.
I don't know if you
What?
guys have ever been. It's Foaling. So what it
Never
is
heard of it.
is...
No, me neither.
I'm about to explain it if you let me talk and shut the fuck up. So
Fucking commenting on his
basically,
either.
I mean, Jesus, slow down a little
Stop
bit.
whining.
It's bowling pins, right, on lanes. Okay, you staying with me?
Are you with
I'm
me?
just making sure.
I don't want
right?
to talk. I don't want to get something thrown at me.
I'm just trying to explain here, bro. So I'm trying to put you up on game, Rebel, all right? Because I would love to see you throw a fucking football down one of these lanes. So it's basically like you're bowling. Think of bowling pins and large bowling pins, almost like cornhole in a sense. And you take an oversized football, and you got to throw it down the lane and try to knock them down. 2 people on each side. It's a lot of fun.
So, Philly, do you score it like bowling? Like
Well,
a
you go
strike
into
would
all-
be 10. Like, is there a point you have to get to?
but you just go until all the pins are gone. basically.
Gotcha.
It's a hell of a time. They usually have live music there. You know, they got a bar.
The bar.
You know, so we should all go. We would have a blast.
I would love it.
And see, Rob, we don't want to bust your balls. I'm just trying to get some words out here, okay?
You seem more hurt than I am. I wasn't hurt about it. Told me to shut the fuck up. You know what I did? I shut the fuck up.
You went right for the potato chips.
A lot of people love the fact that it took me 3 hours to say that the last time you were here. So consider it done, okay? Now we're on the same page. So Foaling Warehouse down in Hamtramck, it's a great spot. Detroiters know, a lot of them do. We all should go. It's a great time.
Cool.
Sure.
You dig?
Where are we going to next?
Back to you, GMB.
Oh, well, guys, I told
Right,
you it was
that's
Frank.
it.
I had the Frankenmuth one and Mackinac Island. That's why I just jumped ahead. So, Miguel, it was back to Sea Rebel.
I'm actually going to piggyback off of Miguel's one. I was talking about the Mackinac Bridge and that whole area. You know what I mean? That is really, really cool. Go to Mackinac Island. It's one of the only places I know of that no cars are even allowed on the island anymore. You're just not allowed to have any cars. Everything's by horseback or bike. And today's society, that's pretty rare. And it's pretty cool. And so I like that pick you did. I agree with you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Very good. Miguel, what's your last one?
All right, so this one's like my 5B. Basically, like kind of like the Gaylord, like up north vibe with the golfing. Like they kind of say Michigan's like the golf mecca of pretty much like everything. I mean, we have like I think it's the most golf courses like in like in one state. So Michigan's kind of like that golf mecca. I mean, when you go up north, I mean, just the vibes of the golf course and everything. Even down here, when you get along the water and all that kind of stuff, nothing beats the golf in Michigan. You go up to Arcadia Bluffs and all these other kind of courses. It's immaculately insane. It's crazy.
Nice scenery, great courses. They're well kept until we go through there, you know, of course.
Hit a couple beaver pelts, but hey,
That Rebel start driving a cart and it's all fucked up.
drunk by the 7th hole.
Yeah, next thing you know, you and Rebel are running through the freaking trees and burning corners.
Rebel can caddy for me.
You look on the back of Chuck's Jeep and he's towing a golf cart home.
I'm going to be the guy in the
Well, they
woods.
never fucking asked me for the keys.
I'm going to be the guy in the woods where you're going to get your backspring.
We've done some dumb shit like that on a golf course. Remember, we played 9 after work one time with my buddy Mitch and Matt and my buddy Sean. This was the biggest shit show I've ever seen in my life, okay? So my buddy Mitch, he passed away, God rest his soul. But him and my buddy Matt, I mean, they go down this big-ass hill. This drop must have been about 10 to 15 feet. They go down. They get the cart stuck, okay? Then somehow, some way, they get it out of there. I see them, like, putting up the next hill. And they tip the cart over. They break the windshield. Fast forward a couple holes, you know, we're taking shooters now, ripping whiskey shots. I get pissed because I sliced this ball so bad. I turn around and I throw my club, and it ricochets right off my buddy Sean's shin. He is so pissed at me, dude. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, man. I'm just so fucked up. I'm so mad. And then we get to the last hole. And we're just completely shit-faced. So next thing you know, me and my buddy Matt are wrestling on the 18th hole, and they kick us out of there.
And you got a fucked up cart to turn in.
I had to pay for the cart. It was a nightmare. So I tried to dial it back a little bit, brass, you know, now. But, you know, you're young and dumb and just having fun.
Right.
Golf club to the shin.
He was,
You know,
just
that was
imagine, you know, he's jumping up and down holding this shit. You had to
Oh,
be
that'd
there.
be-
But it was hilarious.
Yeah,
We had a better video camera back in those days, man.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, one time we played hooky in high school. We were golfing. We did. It was take your child to work day. We went and golfed 27 holes. And my buddy, the same thing. He was standing 90 degrees to the left, like off the tee box. My buddy hit it off the toe, direct ankle shot. Oh my God. He dropped, and then to get up to the clubhouse, I'm not kidding you, is probably a 200-foot high hill. You have to climb. I had to carry him in his golf bag up the hill because he could not.
Oh, I'm sorry
he
about
could
that.
not walk. So,
Just
yeah, golf balls and everything to the shin is like the worst.
That'd be horrible,
everything
man.
ever.
just the change, you know what I mean? When you played hooky in high school to go golfing, I don't know. When I played hooky a lot in school, and never once did I go golfing after I played hooky. We were doing a whole lot of different things. We were not golfing.
And what were you doing?
Do tell,
Sea
Rebel. Do tell.
Fucking beast.
What were you doing, Sea
No,
Rebel?
you-
down
Same
there?
thing you were doing. You grew up in the same neighborhood. So.
We know
Were
what
you,
Hollywood
just
was
asking
doing.
this, Hollywood.
What
Were
I'm
you playing
saying,
golf
man.
when you played hooky?
No, I wasn't.
No, I wasn't either. just showing you how much.
Had something to do with the hole, but wouldn't golf.
Sometimes they were just as big, but we didn't care at that point. We were just happy to be there.
All right, Hollywood, over to you, bud.
Our cider mills.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Our cider mills, you go out there, family, whatever, or, your date, your wife, whatever. Chocolate, get the donuts, fight the bees, go by the water, whatever.
Yes.
And whatnot. Just that feeling, that cider mill feeling, go out there, get your pumpkins. Yeah, it's something about that feeling of
Absolutely.
that cider mill, man.
The colors.
Yes, everything, man. And all the people just come from everywhere,
Who are you?
So, yeah, that's
I
the
like
last
that.
one. Yeah.
Cider mill, yeah, that's.
I didn't even think of that one. I don't know why. Being a Michigander, I didn't think of that one.
Yeah.
That's
Your
a good
mind is
one.
pickled.
I bet you didn't think. I
It
bet you.
pickled my
It's
mind.
rubbing off on you, man.
I'm sure you didn't think of this one either. So,
Here we go. Let's hear
so
it.
if it's female, I would say lady friend coming in out of town to see, maybe take her to Stony Creek, the park.
Nice.
It's a beautiful park, wide open, a lot of trails. The water. It's very, very scenic. Now, if a fella's coming into town, shout out to Judge James. We hitting that Coliseum, man. We hit that titty bar, man. There's a lot of prime real estate in there, and it's a good time once in a while. I'm not a big strip club guy, but for certain events, I'll go in there and dabble a bit.
Let's get it, dude.
Get down there by players, man.
For my wife who watches, I've never been in the Coliseum. I don't even know what it is.
He's scared to comment down there.
That's so funny. Last time I heard that, I laughed so hard I fell off my dinosaur.
That motherfucker's over there turtling up, man.
Just doing some damage
I
control. That's
respect
all.
it. You guys are married down there, but I'm gonna cut it loose over here, baby.
That's why there's a lot of distance there. See, I'm going to stay over here. because
I feel you.
When the,
All right.
when the shrapnel hits, it's going to go over there.
Yes, sir. You can defer to me. It's fine. I'll be the punching bag. B, so you're good. Everybody good? Anything?
I got number 5.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
But it was the same thing. Again, we think a lot alike because my number 5 was Frankenmuth, Little Bavaria. I've been there a lot of times. Especially with my kids, I go there a lot. The chicken is overrated, but
My God, do you ever stop talking?
Don't listen to that. Keep going.
You got to learn to
Keep
talk
going.
over these drops.
Anyway, like the horseback riding they could do. My kids thought that was really, really cool. Horseback riding and all that stuff. We went on the steamboat rides, stuff like that. Sure. There's a lot of stuff to do down there.
Yeah, chicken's overrated, but Grandmaster B, last time we went there, took about 13 pieces of chicken, hit them under the table, and took them in a doggy bag.
He
no
told
lie.
me.
Hey, that runs in my family gene. My mom goes to buffets with Ziploc bags, bro. I'm getting my money's worth.
He told me. I remember he called me and
my
told me
money's
about
worth,
that.
man. I took some chicken home.
He's taking a salt,
I ain't
pepper,
gonna lie,
hot
though.
sauce.
The last time we went, it was like 96 degrees outside. It was roasting hot. And I don't know why, for some particular reason, I thought it was a good idea to just start drinking shots at every little place I went to. And I'm telling my wife, I'm like, dude, I'm fucking hammered. She's like, good. And that chicken tasted so good that particular day. Yeah. And I think it was just because of the air condition.
Yeah.
So is this like a unwritten rule, like Oak Ridge chicken? Like this chicken up there is so good?
Well, it's like it's what kind of, I wouldn't say made it, but like it's one of the big things. You go up there, you eat. It's like an all-you-can-eat dinner. And this lady was bringing us plates of chicken with 6 pieces on it, and she comes back 2 minutes later, and the plate's clean.
Come on.
The story is,
Not even fucking kidding.
Just came and look at the plate.
The fuck is that?
the story is with the chicken, the restaurant that serves it. Originally, when Frankenmuth was first started, it was served by Germans, so I call it Bavaria.
Yep.
That's what they lived on. They had a minute amount of chicken, and they were to live on that. And that same place is where they were cooking all the chicken all the time, so they've kept that tradition.
Yep.
And that's the storyline behind
Best
it.
thing up there is the buttered noodles, and then you throw the seasoning on it. And honestly, that's the best thing up there.
Yep, absolutely. The butter. I forgot all about it.
I went all the
You
way
just
up
said
there
that.
to Frankenmuth. That's when Princess Diane died that night. And went in that line, because I heard the chicken was also great, however they made it. Got in there to have the lady come out and say, no chicken will be served. We are out.
What? You got all the way there, starved yourself all day.
Oh, yeah, so we had to get something outside of the skirt.
He had to get McDonald's.
Yeah,
Ended up
something
at
like that.
KFC, man.
I was so pissed. So we went and got something to eat, went back to the hotel, whatever, and all that. And that was my main purpose. Because everyone, besides the Christmas stuff.
What's the name of that restaurant again?
Though they got
Zenders?
They got Zenders and like the
Zenders, yeah,
Bavarian end too.
I've never
So
been
they
to
got two
Bavarian.
of them.
I've been to Bavarian, but I've never ate there.
They
Zenders
said
right
that
there.
chicken was to die for, and I never got to taste it.
Yeah.
Just go hit Tony's at I-75.
Tony's
Bacon bits, man, the
I
bacon
finally
bits.
just had that. I think it was last year or the year before for the first time.
What'd you have there?
big ass omelet and like a plate of bacon.
I know.
That's all the Tony's.
I
That's
know
all-
that wasn't good for my
Food they give you,
cholesterol, but I loved it, man.
And we
Very
went with
good.
my wife one time, and she didn't want all that bacon. She said, "No, we got." She's like, "Well, or the club. That won't be so much bacon."
Yeah.
I couldn't even see the
Oh,
club
dude,
sandwich.
the club's
it's
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Like they're like 2, 3, 4 pound sandwiches if you get extra bacon and stuff on it. It's insane.
It's awesome.
Billy, I took Nan there for her first time last year. We were visiting Pop over at that, memorial.
Cemetery, yep.
And she goes, I'm hungry. I'm like, Mom, you got to go try Tony's. She goes, we drove by this so many times. We never stopped there. It was always busy. Well, we went there. It wasn't really busy. And she picked the club sandwich of all things. And I didn't tell her. She was watching these plates coming by. She goes, wow, these people are pigs. Look how much food they're ordering. Thinking like my mom thinks. And all
I
of a
can
sudden
hear
she's
her
like,
saying that too.
wow.
Oh,
She
yeah.
goes, do you see how much food that woman just got? What the hell? And I didn't say anything. And enter her sandwich. And she went, she just had that like look in her eyes like, are you kidding me? I go, there it is.
Yep.
I didn't, just try to eat what you can. I think she ate a quarter of the sandwich and she ate the next like 3 days straight eating that sandwich.
I was
It
there with
so
her too
huge.
for the same reason, and she's like, "You gonna take some of that bacon home?" I said, "Nope." I ate that shit.
But I
man,
can
right
see her
there.
doing that. Innocent
That's a
lady,
lot of
she's like,
bacon, man. That
Look
motherfucker.
at all that. Somebody ordered. I can see her doing that.
Yeah,
I was sweating on the way home. Man.
get the meat sweats.
Got the meat sweat.